America rejecting the violent uprisings on college campuses, the worst of which at this hour is UCLA. I'll get back to that. But it doesn't matter who you are, Republican, Democrat, Independent. We've seen enough. It's another terrible week for Joe Biden and his weakness in Washington. We've seen enough. In fact, here is the question of the day. Where is Joe Biden? Seriously, where the hell is Joe Biden? The ever-shrinking president is absent from the conversation that has been consuming the nation the past couple of weeks as supporters of Hamas and anti-Jewish radicals have launched one occupation after another across this country. Again, the worst is at UCLA tonight. The police moved in and then they backed out. No idea why. No leadership in that state with Gavin Newsom either. Some of the violent mobs yelling death to America. Did you ever imagine that you would see this kind of open hatred of your country right out in the open? Open hatred for your country. Well, I can tell you this. It's absolute political suicide for the Biden administration, demonstrating once again that they and he have no idea, no ability to deal with a crisis. Even some of his most ardent supporters have lost the ability to defend what is happening. And you have to ask yourself, who the hell are these people that are actively trying to burn the country down? We're going to go around and look at some of it here. Here's a series of observations about kids involved in these protests supporting terrorists. I think these are pretty good observations from one of the guys on the sidelines. Listen in.
I think the majority of these college students honestly know exactly what they're protesting for.
The majority of these college students are here on a government loan. They are studying something unbelievably stupid. They are basically being bilked for money. They have no idea. It's the next cool thing to do. The average person, I think, at these protests is the kid that isn't cool or good looking enough to be invited to a house party. So because they're not invited to a house party, they make their own, which is out here, which is why what happens when they summon these people with a flyer, 10,000 of them show up. These are 10,000 people with nowhere else to be.
Kids that are not cool, kids that cannot get a date, kids that cannot, well, you know, they're in college and they can't even get a date, figure that out. So they go to this thing. Oh, look, we're going to break stuff and burn stuff down because I'm entitled and I'm protesting whatever it is you're protesting, kid. Yeah, after a war on the campus of UCLA a couple of times, and the most recent here about 30 or 40 minutes ago, we're just watching this. The police came in and the police backed out and got heckled all the way out. It is really demoralizing for the police. They need to go in and put an end to this nonsense. Cut off the cell phones, cut the power, restrict access, don't let anybody in. They'll starve them out. No more food goes in, no more anything. You should see the videos that I've seen just in the last few minutes. The spray paint all over UCLA. The broken windows, the damage, the destruction. Who gets to pay for that? It is the University of California, Los Angeles, meaning it's a public school, which means the taxpayers get to pay for that. So after the war on the campus of UCLA, the student encampment was once again left standing. Left standing. Here's a bit of the action from the middle of the night and the shock from one of the local television reporters saying, what the hell is going on? Here it is.
It is something I have never covered without any sign of enforcement, law enforcement, security whatsoever. This has gone now on for over an hour and a half, and it is absolutely appalling, in my estimation, that we have not seen any response. I've just never seen it. You know, this may be a sign of things to come, or this may be what, society has become, but I have never seen it. In my career, I have never seen this level of violence without any response from any kind of law enforcement or authority whatsoever. Oh, look at that. Somebody just took a pallet to the head.
Yeah, just took a pallet to the head, really to the face. So this brawling, this rioting, this anarchy went on for hours. And the police came in to disperse it, and then apparently they were called back. Zero leadership. Leftist policies got us here. No law enforcement, no rules, no accountability. And as that guy first pointed out, they're here on a government loan. at a government school. They have no friends. They can't get invited to a house party because they're geeks and twits. So they join this movement. Oh, I'm an anarchist. I'm for Gaza. I'm for Hamas. Yeah, whatever. Mayor Eric Adams, on the other side of the country, went scorched earth when the anti-Jewish protesters in New York tore down the American flag and put up the Palestinian flag. He was not impressed. You have to hear this. Listen.
And another significant part of the video was at the end. That's our flag, folks. Don't take over our buildings and put another flag up. That may be fine to other people, but it's not to me. My uncle died defending this country. And these men and women put their lives on the line. And it's despicable that schools will allow another country flag to fly in our country. So blame me for being proud to be an American. And I thank Commissioner Daughtry for putting that flag back up. We're not surrendering our way of life to anyone.
Well, that's quite something, actually, considering that as a man who at one point defended sanctuary cities and all the nonsense, right? Mayor Adams, not impressed in the least with people tearing down the American flag to put up the Palestinian flag. And what's been interesting lately are fraternities on some of these campuses. University of North Carolina, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and elsewhere. The fraternity boys have come out and surrounded the American flagpole, put up the American flag, and said, come on, you want some, come get it. Come get it. They're not buying it. You see, patriotism runs deeper in this country than these twits at UCLA seem to understand. Their entitled snot-nosed behavior is not interesting to most of us. It is something that needs to be corrected. Disciplined, if you will. Cleaned up might be another term. Oh, and it's coming because America is outraged. And with every passing day that this is played on ABC News, like we saw there out of Los Angeles, or NBC or CBS, or it makes it to the New York Times or the Washington Post, and people see this on their local TV, even if the national television shows don't cover this as well as we do here, they're seeing it in their local markets. When something happens at the University of North Carolina, they see it on local TV. This is turning people off to the weakness of Joe Biden and the weakness of Democrats. These are our campuses, not these little snot-nosed entitled brats. They don't own it. We do. It's our property. Get the hell out. I'll be right back.